Hello, everybody. Grand Rising. And I hope you all are having a great and prosperous day already. Excuse me about that. But I just wanted to come and talk to you guys real quick about another part in the Healing the Shadows ritual called Forgiving Those Whom Have Wronged Us. And with this part of the Healing the Shadows ritual, it's another hard triggering process. The reason why this is also another hard triggering process is because we tend to grow up with the thought that family is certain ways. Friends are supposed to be certain ways. Jobs, aspects, relationships are all supposed to be held and carried certain ways. But when we're actually put in those positions, in those situations and circumstances, they are not. They are not what we thought they were. And honestly, we were not taught on how to deal with that when those situations occur or when they arise. So, with that being said, with doing what I call as a soul retrieval, due to some people losing pieces of their soul or running on autopilot, it's literally the time, place, and space where you go back to those instances or those traumas or those occurrences that happen, and you go through those situations and you remember how you felt, but at the same time of remembering how you feel, you also have to take into accountability the other person's situation, circumstances, state of mind, all of that as well. So don't get me wrong, some people really are just doing some fuck shit just to be doing some fuck shit. But at the same time, some people are very, very disturbed in their trauma because their demons have now overran them physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So these are things that we have to be aware of when we are going back through healing or exploring those traumas where people or where we feel people have really, really wronged us. For instance, one of the things that I had to experience with one of my soul retrievals for myself was going through and realizing that whenever I really wanted to talk to my mom about something, she sort of brushed it off or told me I was lying or stopped being attention seeking and all of that stuff. And as I got older, I had to really sort of think about that learned behavior and where it may have come from. And then, of course, later on in life, me and my little sister had a conversation about my mom, and it clicked. Because even though it was some information that my mom shared with my sister, it was still information that was very vital to me as into how I was, the way I was, who I was, and why I felt more should have been done, and it wasn't. So I really had to sit with myself and think about why I could not let go of you were supposed to help me, you were supposed to protect me, you were supposed to listen, you. Why couldn't I let that you go? I couldn't let that part go with my mom because at some point, being an adult, I was blaming myself for a lot of them situations and circumstances I had put myself in. Had I known this and that and the third, I wouldn't have never did this. Had somebody taught me this, I wouldn't have never did that. Well, at some point in time, I did become an adult. I might not have been grown, but I was an adult. And I knew what situations and circumstances were going to be good for me versus what situations and circumstances were going to be bad for me. And at some point in my life, I still felt I was Billy Badass and I could take on the world. So that's what I attempted to do. While epically failing. And since I did not know how to take that responsibility on myself, I needed to find somewhere to put the blame. So when you're going through this healing those whom have wronged you part of this healing ritual, I really want you to focus on, why are you still blaming these people? What could be possibly going on for you to still blame these people? Right now, I mean. Why are you still harboring on to that hurt, that pain, that, oh, you betrayed me? Even with some situations in my family, I had to realize learned behavior is a very, very traumatic thing. And unlearning that behavior is even harder. So when you're able to understand that a lot of things that you've learned, you can unlearn, you have to sort of also start realizing that people around you may not have gotten to that place and space yet to acknowledge that much about themselves. And you cannot blame them for not being at a place and space that you are just now getting comfortable in. Everybody's healing is not your healing. Everybody's growth is not your growth. So just because you feel that someone has wronged you, maybe the real reason you feel wronged is because you've put yourself in them same situations now. And since the first time that you ever saw this situations was with someone else, that's where you want to put the blame, because that's where you got it from. That's where you may have seen it. That may have been where you learned that behavior. But as far as implementing it and putting it forth in your life right now, oh no, babe, that's all you. So we have to learn to forgive those who we feel have wronged us and really understand people's situation, places, and circumstances where they come from. So with that being said, my loves, I hope this very brief video, helped some of you. And y'all know my motto. Namaste, you guys, but no, I'm going to stay over here. Holler.